Well, I just got back from digging in Tarboro for about 9 hours. I found a Pepsi bottle at least. It was pretty bad digging, but at least I found enough to pay for the gas, barely. This is the least desirable looking Pepsi bottle from there. It does have the one bruise, but I might be able to get $40 or $50 after I polish it up. Noxit bottle, which is some kind of a venereal disease remedy, still has part of the label on it. Too bad I can't read all of the rest of it though. Here's another one that has part of the label still on it. In case you don't know what these are, it's a peach preserves. Of course the label's not worth saving because it's too far gone. Alright, I got them all cleaned up. Here's the Phoenix brand. It's from the McCormick Company. Good looking bottle. Probably could get about $8 for that one. I found a couple of these. This one you can still read part of the label. And this one, I don't know why I kept it. I guess it's kind of got an Art Deco shape. I might be able to get $2 for it. Got a number of late 30s whiskeys that are sort of interesting. Nice and clean anyway. And this one has some heavy grape embossments on it. I could probably get $4 for that one. Then this more common one with less strong embossing on it. Could still get a few dollars out of it. And this one has an unusual semi-Art Deco style to it. Here's a cute little wine bottle. Must have held only about 8 ounces. Two-fifths of a pint. How many ounces is that? That's a good math question for you. Good looking bottle though. I bet I could get $8 for it. I did get a number of Pepsis that were all broken up, 5 or 6 of them. It's a shame about these. This is the semi-teal colored one. It was only embossed with Pepsi-Cola and script on the shoulder. This would have been the best bottle of the day. I looked it up in the book, but the guy who wrote it made a mistake and didn't even put the value on this one. It just has a rarity 3 but no dollar amount. It's kind of got an unusual cola there. It's kind of oddly arched. Probably about a $250 bottle if it wasn't broken. Then another one of these types with a little anchor on it. Another Pepsi that had the shoulder script on it. Yet another one of these, but this one has the AGW on it. And here's the only whole Pepsi bottle after I washed it. Not as exciting with the block print on it, but still probably 7. Another whiskey bottle, Dixie Dew. I only kept it because the label has an interesting name, and the fact that the label's still intact is pretty unusual. Then we got the Noxit VD remedy, and it's still got some of it in it. Then I got a Vicks jar, but it's an extremely early one from the teens. You can see all those tiny little imperfections in the glass. Tiny little bubbles. And the triangle on the bottom is kind of wiped out by that big ring of machine-made line around it. Then I got a couple of these Capudine bottles that are out of Raleigh, but they don't say Raleigh on them. They're tough to sell for $4, but maybe I'll get $3 out of them. And then I guess it's a vinegar with the odd handle on it. Kind of an Art Deco style. Maybe a White House or a Spies. I'm not really sure on that one yet. Then a McCormick again, but this is not a very exciting looking bottle. Then just a pint milk with no embossing or paint on it. A 1915 Coke out of Tarboro, but it's got some serious damage. And then with all those 1930s whiskeys, somehow there's this early 1904 to 1908 style. And then a Noxzema. Looks good from the bottom, but these are pretty hard to sell. It's a big tall kind. One of the holes had so much iron and metal in it, it was unbelievable. There was hundreds of pounds of odd pieces of iron. I only kept the brass and copper items. Some kind of a lamp. The parts for it, and here's a nice footed base. Unusual three-legged. Then this, I don't know what that is. It might be some kind of a Victrola or some similar musical playing device. Not really sure yet. Also found a couple of these gallon jug tops that could very well be the Pepsi Cola syrup. I know they are found in Washington and Tarboro's pretty darn close to there, so it's either a whiskey or one of those Pepsi Cola bottles. Then one of these little things, piece of junk, maybe I'll get $1 for it. For some reason I found this really early applied top flask piece in with a bunch of 30s junk. So maybe they dipped out the privies, and that's why all the stuff I find is only from the 30s, because all the earlier stuff got removed except for a couple small shards in the corner. Well, that's about it. This is the lock that I found in Hamlet a few months back after I cleaned it. It's not a railroad lock after all, but it's a good looking lock anyway. Well, I'll see you in a couple months when the weather cools off.